This is the WINNY C1-GB pool vacuum. So, you're probably checking this video because you're thinking, like I did, is this cordless robotic pool cleaner actually worth it? And since it's sitting right here in front of me, I want to give you my honest, straightforward, and simple quick review after putting it to the test in my own pool. For anyone just hearing about robotic pool vacuums, here's a quick breakdown. These machines take over that annoying, time-consuming job of scrubbing your pool. You charge them up, drop them in, and let them do all the crawling, scrubbing, and vacuuming by themselves. No more hoses or external pumps. And with the WINNY C1-GB, there are no cords to wrestle with, which is already a relief for anyone who's ever tripped over a cable or struggled to untangle one from their pool deck. So what does this thing actually look like when you get it home? It's pretty slick. The shape is low and compact, which means it doesn't take up a ton of space in your storage shed or garage. The surface is smooth, sturdy, and gives you the impression it's built to last. It weighs about 23 pounds, so it's not feather light, but I can lift it out of the water by myself without struggling too much. Now, my first thoughts when I saw it were pretty mixed. I've tested a handful of robotic pool cleaners before, and some of them do great while others kind of flop, missing huge spots and leaving sand all over the floor. And honestly, I wasn't sure this one would handle the fine debris that tends to end up in my pool. I've got a screened-in pool in Florida, so what falls in isn't usually a ton of leaves, but instead lots of dust, sand, some stray bugs, and unlucky dog hairs that float around. Setting up the WINNY C1-GB was maybe the easiest part of the process. There is literally no assembly required. Just take it out of the box, make sure the lithium-ion battery is fully charged, which takes about 3 hours for a full charge. Pop open the filter cartridge at the top, check everything's in place, and you're good to go. The controls are simple too. A couple of buttons, and you're off. For anyone new to robotic cleaners, I'd say this is about as user-friendly as it gets. No complicated menu screens or anything. Let's talk about performance, because that's what makes or breaks a pool vacuum for me. Once the WINNY C1-GB hits the water, it immediately gets to work on your pool walls. It starts by climbing up the sides, scrubbing away any algae or debris clinging to the walls or waterline, then shifts down to clean the floor. That actually makes sense, since anything it knocks off the sides will get vacuumed up when it makes its way along the bottom. I could see it in action, following a kind of intelligent path, which I'd describe as more systematic than what I've seen from a few other models. It didn't just wander randomly or spin in circles, but actually seemed to remember where it had already cleaned, a big plus for getting even coverage. One key feature I've found surprisingly useful is the battery indicator light right on the front. It starts off super green when fully charged, then transitions to blue, yellow, and finally blinking yellow when it's about to run out. This takes the guesswork out for anyone like me who always forgets to check battery levels till it's too late. On a full charge, you get around 150 minutes of runtime, which felt just right for my mid-sized pool. It's perfect for pools up to about 1,600 square feet. I'd recommend this for anyone with similar-sized pools or a bit smaller. If you've got a huge pool, you may need to run it twice, but for most home pools, you're set in just about one cleaning session. After about 2 hours, I checked to see what it had picked up. Now, my pool had already been cleaned just days before, so I expected the filter basket to be almost empty. But when I popped open the front and took out the big, top-loading cartridge, I was honestly shocked. It had collected tons of fine sand, a cloud of dog hair, and a mix of small dirt and debris. The filter itself is one of those 180-micron ultrafine types, so it picks up even the small stuff the eye might miss. That's huge for anyone with dusty or sandy pool decks. Maintenance on this cleaner couldn't be easier. When you're done, just open the front cover, lift out the cartridge, and rinse it under a hose. You don't have to mess with extra hoses, pumps, or attachments. Pop it back in, recharge the unit, and you're ready for next time. The build quality of the filter basket struck me as strong enough to handle some rough use, which I appreciate since I don't want to be constantly buying parts. Sharing a small pain point though, while the bot is smart, it likes to finish its cleaning by parking itself at a wall. In my case, it once parked behind my waterfall feature, which was a bit awkward to reach. Not a deal breaker at all, but something to keep in mind depending on your pool's layout. The suction power on this thing was another one of those pleasant surprises. The brand says Super Motor W3, which basically means the motor is beefed up to pick up heavier debris. And from my experience, that's not just marketing, This bot picked up way more sand and grit than I've seen from other cordless models I've tried. If there's a downside, it might be the weight. At 23 pounds, it's not the easiest to haul around for everyone. If you have trouble with heavier items, that's something to consider. Also, while the route planning is smart, it may sometimes miss a spot here or there, but way less than what I've seen from older or budget models. A few folks might wonder about app integration. Yes, there is some limited functionality, but honestly, I set it up and just let it go. If you're the hands-off type like me, you probably won't care about the app. And so far, I haven't had to deal with support, but judging by other users, customer service experiences can be a bit mixed. To sum it up, the WINNY C1-GB pool vacuum is a solid option if you want a hands-off, efficient, and reliable way to clean your in-ground pool. It looks smart, runs long enough on a charge, and picks up way more debris than I expected, especially the fine stuff. If you've never owned a robot vacuum for your pool before, this is incredibly user-friendly and requires almost zero effort to keep your pool in shape. In conclusion, from my experience, the WINNY C1-GB pool vacuum strikes a great balance between power, runtime, and ease of use. It's perfect for homeowners like me who want less hassle with maintenance and more time actually enjoying a clean pool. I'd recommend this for anyone who's ready to move on from manual cleaning or older, less capable robots. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment if you have any questions or your own experiences to share. Thank you for watching.